Lacey sings, "Have another drink and drive yourself home. I hope there's ice on all the roads. And you can think of me when you forget your seatbelt. And again, when your head goes through the windshield."
Oh, fuck. That's intense. That's harsh.
It's pretty harsh. Yeah.
Is it as harsh as playing someone's sex tape in front of their parents at a party?
No, because this is just like writing evil fan fiction.
Right.
The sex tape thing is definitely worse.
Hello, and welcome back to the Premo Donnas podcast. I'm Mishka.
I'm Imperium.
And thank you for joining us.
Yeah, took the words right out of my mouth. I had this fun idea today to get into some popular feuds and diss tracks because I felt like this would be perfect for both the pop and the alternative scene. So that's what the broad scope of the episode is going to be today. But Mishka, how are you? How was your weekend?
It was good. It was relaxing. Me and my dog went for a nice long walk, which he was very appreciative of.
Tell us about your dog. The viewers and listeners don't know about your dog.
My dog. Oh my gosh. He's my best friend. Other than you, of course. Sorry.
It's fine.
But yeah, no, he's a greyhound. He's a former racer. His name's Rodney. And the reason his name is Rodney, it's kind of a cute little story. They actually give them their like pet names as a derivative of their racer names. So his racing name was Hot Rod. So his name is Rodney. He's very sweet. He's 6 years old, and he wasn't very good at racing, so he retired a little bit early. And then he went and did a therapy program with prisoners. So not only was he a racer, he's also been to the Slammer.
Yeah. It's a big life for him.
It's a big life, but now he's retired and he just gets to lay around and be lazy and eat all of the treats.
And roach. His roach position is my favorite.
Yeah, he just lays on his back with his paws up like this. And people with greyhounds refer to it as roaching because it kind of looks like a dead cockroach. So yeah, if you've ever wanted a dog, but maybe didn't love the idea of having a puppy and the amount of energy that involves, I mean, Imperium can attest to that. My partner and I just realized that wasn't something that we wanted to do, or also that we would probably be very good at. So we adopted an adult dog, and honestly, best choice if you're looking for a dog that's kind of low key and like lower energy. You wouldn't think a greyhound considering they're racers. But believe it or not, he sleeps for anywhere from between like 12 to 14 hours a day.
He's a super lazy boy, and we love him for that.
He's super lazy. He just really enjoys his couch time. So if you're looking for a friend, a pet, I do highly recommend a retired racer. So yeah, but that's Rodney. He's sleeping on the couch right now.
Of course he is. His proportions do not make sense. And
not at all.
No, not at all. His head is so tiny and cute. His eyes are bulbous. And then he has like a giraffe body.
Yeah, we call him our little deer because he kind of looks like a fawn.
Does.
And when he gets running, he kind of like bounces a little bit, it kind of reminds me of like Bambi. What about you?
I went to a surprise birthday party on Saturday.
Ooh, for
which
who?
Was successful for Gus. He goes by Shutter Owl on Instagram. And it's really funny because every time I'm typing Shutter Owl in, it always does Shitter Owl. And so that's a cute little fun fact. But he had his birthday and we shot together. We did the recreation of the Bad Omens album cover. So that's like one of my favorite projects. Yeah, he did that. We did that at like 7 a.m. It was ridiculous. But yeah, we went to see them and talked about some of our when we were young plans, because that's coming up in 2 weeks, week and a half. I don't know what time it is. No. Traveling, I'm never ready. But then Sunday was nice. We had a little girls' night. We painted pumpkins and watched The Craft and Casper.
Oh, I'm kind of jealous. That's awesome. Painting pumpkins. Do you ever when we painted a pumpkin? Or I guess, did we just draw on it?
I think we just drew on it. Was it Sheila?
Sheila
the pumpkin. Yeah, I made like an anime pumpkin.
We'll put up a photo of Sheila.
Do you still have photos of Sheila?
Oh, girl, I have all of that. Don't think if you
Oh,
ever
no.
were to, I know this isn't going to happen because you don't want to, but if you were to ever be married, you can guarantee I've got all of the ammunition.
Oh, no. That's like high school.
Oh, yeah.
Like 2012?
Yeah. And I had hair.
So did I. I had super long hair.
Yeah, you did. And it was a completely different color.
Yeah. It was my natural color.
We'll
Ew.
grace our lovely audience with a photo, a throwback photo of us and Sheila.
No, we will not.
We shall. I shall.
I guess. Fine. Well, speaking of us fighting, which didn't really happen, but I wanted to segue.
Okay. Odd segue, but work. Get it? Okay.
I feel like you should start because I said so.
Okay. I'll be honest with you. I happen to have an obscene amount of information about this topic, like packed into my head. Not a lot about diss tracks, I'll be honest. It's mostly just about like very public feuds. Most of them, which we've later have come to learn, were mostly manufactured for the sake of drama and whatnot.
Spoiler alert.
Never, right? But a lot of mine are non-current. Or have been ongoing for a long time. Most of mine
same with me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So on the pop side of things, when I think of feuds, I immediately go back in time and I think of like the Disney kids. As unfortunate. I know it's unfortunate, but I was a Disney child growing up. But
that surprises absolutely no one.
Doesn't it? No. I don't consider myself a Disney adult, really in any way. But at the same time, I was in it when this was happening. So there's a whole cast of characters here. First of all, wasn't a Disney girl really, is Canadian, super iconic, Miss Avril Lavigne. Right? So I've never really thought of Avril Lavigne as particularly like problematic or like drama focused or what have you.
No.
Turns out that's not the case.
Really? Okay.
She has been in so many like feuds with random people. First of all, when she debuted, people compared her to Britney, and she made comments about how like Britney's style wasn't like her at all, and how she kind of jumped on like the slut shaming train, for lack of a better word.
No, Avril, no. Really?
I know. This was like 2004, keep in mind. And so like media treated women like horribly.
Subhuman. Yeah.
So she constantly kept getting compared to Britney. And so she ended up like in frustration or something, making a statement along the lines of like, you know, she's so sweet and innocent, but then she gets up on stage and is like just wearing a bra and is like dancing around like a hoe. Like, is she a hoe? Kind of a thing. Now, since all of that has happened back in 2004 and whatnot, she's like kind of left the drama out of it. She was part of that like teen pop, like iconic world, right?
Right.
At the time. So she had feuds with, if I can remember correctly, she had a feud with Kelly Clarkson, which is funny because she actually wrote Breakaway.
Yeah. I was
which
gonna
is
say
Kelly's
Free, but Breakaway.
Breakaway, Kelly's like first hit after Idol. And it wasn't like really a feud. Kelly was presenting an award at some award show and Avril ended up winning. And when she went up to get the award, Kelly tried to like give her a hug. And it looked like either Avril just wasn't prepared for it or was just like, I don't hug me, I don't know you kind of a thing. And Avril ended up like accidentally like elbowing her in the face. Yeah. And so after that, everybody was saying that like, oh, Avril and Kelly have it out for each other. Like Avril hit her in the face kind of a thing.
On stage,
yeah. And then so anyways, like years later, I think Avril went on Kelly's talk show and basically was like, hey, everybody keeps saying that I like elbowed you in the face. And if I did that, I'm so sorry. Like I didn't mean to, kind of a thing. I think because she was probably like, she was winning an award. She was probably just excited and a little bit nervous too, right? So that's one thing. She also had feuds with Hilary Duff, was an iconic one.
I feel like I remember this one.
Yeah. So basically there was alleged rumors going around that Avril was unappreciative of her fan base. She made comments or something about like, oh, people come to my shows and I see girls like dressed up like me. And it's kind of, at the time, she was kind of like, get a life, like get your own fashion, get your own style. But that was very Avril. That was very Avril at the beginning of her career. And like the media took that quote and like ran with it. And so Hilary Duff ended up getting asked about the situation in a completely separate interview unrelated to Avril. And she ended up saying like, well, I think she should just like appreciate her fans more, blah, 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 blah. You know, a very nice girl, Hilary Duff answer.
Yeah, very diplomatic.
Yeah. And I guess Avril was like, it's none of her fucking business. And that's also, she's like, that's also a misquote. Like, I never properly said that kind of thing. So anyways, I don't know if they still have beef or not, but that was an iconic beef at the time. Avril's been in a few things with other people as well, like Lindsay Lohan and Paris, but like not anything major. Moving on to the next group. So Miley Cyrus, Demi Lovato, Selena Gomez, and the Jonas Brothers. Oh yes, this was crazy at the time. Okay, so Miley and Nick from the Jonas Brothers, the middle one, or no, wait, the youngest one, sorry, met and started dating, and they dated for a few years while Miley was doing her Hannah Montana shtick. And then, as soon as Miley and Nick broke up, him and Selena started dating, like immediately.
Gotta watch out for Selena.
Nikki was right.
Nikki was right the whole time.
So they started dating, and then Demi Lovato comes into the picture, and she starts dating Joe, the like middle brother. Kevin was the oldest one, I believe.
Yeah, nobody wanted Kevin,
unfortunately. Although he's married now, he's happy. Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was this weird like love quadruplet going on, kind of a thing, and like there was rumors that Demi was involved, but then in reality she was just really close friends with Nick because she was with his older brother, kind of a thing. And I guess this all like came to a head when Demi and Selena made a YouTube channel together, and they were just like being stupid preteen girls, like just laughing and talking to the camera, doing live streams, what have you.
Oh my God, side note, didn't we all have stupid YouTube accounts when we were teenagers? Maybe not like YouTube accounts, but I remember making like music videos with my friends.
You and I have made music videos together, girl.
Oh my God. I was thinking even younger, but yeah.
I don't consider that cringe content. That's us in our prime right there, just saying. But anyways, no. I get where you're coming from. This is the first YouTube channel I've ever had. And like actively made something for it, kind of thing. I guess I had like a personal one with just random shit on it. But no, I never went down that route as a preteen or a teenager. I never like created a platform of any kind.
No, I never posted them, but I definitely made them. And I would like think of shots to do with my like fucking little flip camera.
Well, yeah. See,
oh my God.
It's like TikTok before TikTok and before Instagram and before anything really. It was just like creating a video for the sake of creating a video because it's fun.
Yeah, and just so dramatic. Like no makeup, no dance skills, nothing. Just no choreo. Pure... No, oh my God. I thought I had choreo.
Every time, yeah. Let's wing it.
Yeah, but like we were like music video directors. Anyway, sorry to tangent.
It's okay. So, Demi and Selena makes this YouTube channel, and they start posting stupid shit. And then Miley and her friend Mandy made their own channel as well and started like making parodies of Demi and Selena's videos and like making fun of them.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and like Miley like made comments about how like Demi got her gap tooth fixed. And in one of the videos, Demi's talking about how like, oh yeah, like people say I wear my makeup too dark, but like this is how I used to do it. Like, is this too dark or what? And Miley's friend Mandy is just sitting there with like literal raccoon circles around her eyes, being like, what do you guys think? Is my makeup too dark? I think it's fine. And it was just stupid bullshit that doesn't actually matter.
It's like have you seen the Kardashian clip that's like, don't you think your eyes are a little too dark for the daytime? And Kim goes,
what?
I'm just going through a phase. Yeah.
I'm just going through a phase right now.
I'm just going through a phase right now.
It's just a phase right now, okay? Like,
don't you think your eyes are a little too dark for daytime?
What kind of a statement or question is that? Like, what?
It just came out of left field.
So, okay, getting back to it, there was all drama there, but like I don't actually fully remember / know how it ended or worked out. They all seem fine now, so whatever. The big one for me that I remember within this kind of realm, but not Disney people, was Lindsay Lohan, Paris, Brittany, and Nicole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know where you're going with this.
So Lindsay and Paris both basically shared a boyfriend over the course of like 3 or 4 years named Stavros. He's like an oil baron's huge nepo baby of some kind. I don't know. If he's doing something productive for the world with his money, then like he's made it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so they were basically both dating him back to back for like a period of 2 or 3 years. And I think actually Paris ended up winning that fight. Lindsay had to like drop it. But then there was the fallout with Paris and Nicole,
Mm-hmm.
which iconic. Also, like, are you familiar with what happened there? Because it's kind of fucked up.
I don't know if it's the one I'm thinking, but they were like thick as thieves for the longest time, and they did The Simple Life together.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if it's what season it is, but they had their kind of falling out, and then they still had to record a season of The Simple Life, but they did it separately.
Yes. So, but do you know the
so
reasons
awkward.
why?
No,
Oh my God,
I don't.
Girl. Okay, this is actually fucked up. So, as we know, Paris obviously gained her fame through her family name, and she also gained an awful lot of notoriety for releasing a sex tape. Mm-hmm. Right?
Well, she was also just like a socialite it girl at the time too, so it all just like snowballed.
It snowballed.
We love
right?
Paris in this house, okay?
Yeah, we love Paris.
Big Paris stan.
Go stream her new album. Do it. But anyways, so my understanding of it is that basically the sex tape that was released of Paris was released like non-consensually. Like she wasn't aware that she was filmed. Very much like revenge porn kind of situation.
Right.
But she like made the most of it, and it turned that notoriety, similar to Kim K, turned that notoriety into fame to like build herself an empire. Love that for her. But this came out, it was devastating for her, all this stuff was happening, and her and Nicole were in a fight. I don't know if it was over a boy or if it was just petty drama in general, but Nicole ended up having a party at Paris's house. Like it was a party for Paris or something like that. But then Paris couldn't go or something, or she wasn't invited. I don't remember the full details, but the long and short of it is that Nicole surprise screened her sex tape at the party.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I think her parents were there. Kind of a thing. Yeah.
That is petty as fuck.
It was petty as fuck.
Oh my God.
Like, looking at them both now as grown women, I have respect for both of them because they've both kind of done their own thing and like been successful in that. But at the same time, I think back, they were supposed to be, or they acted and seemed like actual best friends. Like you and I have had some arguments over the years, but under no circumstances ever would I just like put up an incriminating photo of you. Not that I have any, but like I would never use that as ammunition. Like that's a low fucking blow.
Yeah. Like that's not funny. That's harassment.
Yeah.
And like exploitation.
But on the flip side of it all, there has been, I don't know if it's actually been fully confirmed. I think it's been confirmed. But Paris and Nicole are reuniting for a new reboot of The Simple Life.
I'm so excited. They have like the uniforms on of like a fast food place.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one it was exactly, but I saw it and I was like, this is the content I need.
I don't know how it's going to hit because they're like in their late 30s at this point, and both like established as both like fashion, like Nicole's got her entire fashion empire. And then Paris obviously has her like music as everything. Well as everything else, right? So like it'll be weird to see them like goofing around and if they're like trying to emulate what they were previously, but I feel like that was a lot of the age they were as well.
That's a good point. And a lot of stuff that happened back then, you're kind of like, that didn't age well.
Didn't age well. And also like watching a rich person go do like a regular person like fast food job, it's not really entertaining. Maybe back then it was, but because celebrities are so accessible now, it feels kind of like performative and like, ooh, what are you doing?
Yeah, they're gonna have to do like a different spin on it or add a new element or something to make it more modern. I feel like Paris is, as you know, rich and influential as she is, I still feel like she has some idea of like the times.
Yeah.
You know, like I think she's with it. So we'll just have to wait and see, I guess.
We'll have to wait and see. I hope it's successful, honestly, because like they were really funny back
They were
then.
so funny.
And it was
so
all
funny.
Like physical comedy and like stupid humor, but it worked.
Yeah. I remember with the one episode they got like pulled over by a cop and Nicole was just like, "What's up?"
Yeah.
It was just so good. Like you can't write shit that funny. It was just the stuff that came out of them was really good.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that like the producers pushed them in certain directions and stuff, but like it seemed a lot of it was very like improv off the cuff kind of thing, which I hope they kind of keep to a degree. I have one more major one, but I think maybe we should dive into one of yours.
Okay. Sure. We can switch gears, no problem.
Okay.
So the good thing about my feuds in the alternative rock emo worlds is that these feuds would often result in diss tracks.
Love a good diss track.
Because men can't process emotion unless they scream it into a microphone.
Yep.
So, obviously, the most notable emo feud belongs to Take You Back Sunday and Brand New over the pursuit of the same girl. Classic emo. Classic emo-ness. So Jesse Lacey, Brand New's frontman, and John Nolan, Taking Back Sunday's guitarist, were friends before their respective bands found success, but quickly turned on each other after finding out John had allegedly hooked up with Jesse's girlfriend.
Gosh.
Gasp, gasp, gasp. Jesse was actually the original bassist for Taking Back Sunday and left the band to start Brand New shortly after the dispute. This split resulted in 2 diss tracks. 70 times 7 from Brand New, and There's No I in Team in response from Taking Back Sunday, which both depict very violent endings for each other.
Oh,
like
good.
These boys went in. I'll read you an excerpt from 70 times 7. Lacey sings, "Have another drink and drive yourself home. I hope there's ice on all the roads. And you can think of me when you forget your seatbelt, and again when your head goes through the windshield."
Oh, fuck. That's intense. That's harsh.
It's pretty harsh. Yeah.
Is it as harsh as playing someone's sex tape in front of their parents at a party?
No, because this is just like writing evil fan fiction.
Right.
The sex tape thing is definitely worse.
Okay.
So Adam and John spit back using those same lyrics and added their own venom with "Best friends means I pulled the trigger. Best friends mean you get what you deserve."
I'm curious though. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So, okay, wait. So, 2 bands.
Mm-hmm.
The one guy is with this girl. They're together. They're having a relationship. They're a good time. She's pretty, obviously. And then this guy from a different band who's friends with this guy,
yes,
decides,
and they were in the same band together originally.
Oh, they're in the same band originally when this happened.
Yeah, so Jesse was in Taking Back Sunday when it was founded. He was the bass player, but then moved on to be the front man of this other band called Brand New.
Okay, so, and this all happened before they separated. Okay. Wow, that's
drama.
That's drama. That's drama right there.
An interview with Nolan revealed that while the songs were released at different times, they were both written around the same time about the same situation. He says, they're not necessarily opposing points of view, just from our personal perspective. The words, best friends means forever, from 70 times 7, was originally from our song, so then we took the line from their song. It was a little devious on our part, I admit. A funny part about this as well is that the two bands actually performed these tracks live in 2002 during a summer tour together. And I actually found a video of this performance that we'll either put in here or I'll put it in the link description. It's really, really cool because this was from someone's camcorder in 2002. It's so raw. Like, it's such a great visual from how the scene was back then.
Okay.
Yeah. The beef also continued. The saga goes on.
Oh, wait. So in 2002, they did a festival together.
They did a summer tour together.
So they toured with each other after this situation panned out and this went down.
Yeah.
So did they water under the bridge situation for that, or how did they work together?
They just kind of steered clear of each other, and then they decided to do this kind of as a fan and crowd interaction moment. I think Jesse said something about this is going to make the internet explode or something.
Interesting. So it was done for
performative
virality
reasons. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if virality was a thing back then, but definitely for
what we would call virality now.
Sparking outrage. But the beef continued, and this time on merch. In August of 2003, Brand New puts out the famous "Mics are for singing, not for swinging," and on the back saying, "You know who you are," taking a jab at the Taking Back Sunday frontman Adam Lazzara's stage presence. And of course,
does he swing the mic often?
He does. He has a very, very performative mic swinging situation. He's put it around his neck a couple times, and he's bashed his teeth. It's very
so. Yeah,
comedic, but also unnecessary.
As someone who uses microphones often, and also my partner's on the back end side of production for things like that. Everyone who swings the microphone, you best be bringing your own mic and your own cable, because the venue who's providing that fucking hates it.
Oh yeah, the sound guy was not impressed every time.
Yeah, no, of course not. Because it wrecks the mics. So hot tip for anyone who's thinking about doing some live performing: don't swing your mic around.
Don't swing your mic around. But that didn't stop Adam. No. Of course,
he's a rock star, right? So,
well, he's trying to be a rock star. He's not much of a rock star anymore. I've seen him live, and it's not worth it. I'm glad I saw them at a festival. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
But Taking Back Sunday could not resist the bait and made their own version of merch that said, "Proudly swinging since 1999.
Okay, I feel at this point maybe they're just kind of milking it for the sake of milking it.
Yeah, instead of just, talking it through with each other on a personal level, they thought, why don't I get everyone else involved?
Well, I'm wondering
and make
if
money,
this isn't
make
just
money from it.
Well, I'm wondering if it's not just a mutually agreed upon, hey, the drama of our feud or whatever is useful to us, so let's just go with it.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. I don't think they're that calculated.
So you think they're
really
stupid?
Don't. Well, yeah, because a bunch of other stuff happens later down the line with Brand New that we're not going to discuss here. But if you're curious, you can look up. It's very sad.
Are they canceled?
And Brand New, yes.
Oh,
absolutely.
No, cursed music.
Yeah, which is very sad because brand new, wrote some fucking banger tracks.
Was this an American or a Canadian band?
They're both American. They're both from Long Island, New York.
Oh, there's a sigh of relief, right?
I mean,
like, we have so many. Well, actually, I don't know if we have so many. I can only think of one immediately off the top of my head. Music artists from Canada that got canceled, and it sucks because their music was good. Headley. I fucking really liked their music. It was like pop adjacent enough, but now I can't listen to it without being like, oh,
you're a piece of shit. You're a huge piece of shit.
I feel bad for the other members, but like they could start their own band or start something new. But like,
yeah, well, we're not going to get into that because that's a sad topic. And on that note, let's take a break.
Be right back. Welcome back. I've got one last feud to share with you.
I'm ready.
Okay, this one is truly iconic. There are 3 characters in this story. Mariah Carey, Jennifer Lopez, and Tommy Mottola, who you may not have heard of.
Oh, no, I thought you were going to say Christina Aguilera and Madonna.
No.
Here we are.
I honestly think this one is more iconic in my personal opinion.
Okay.
It's more juicy. So, back in 1993, I believe it was, Mariah was at the height of her career. Not to say that she isn't now, she still is. But at the height of her career, she was married to a music executive named Tommy Mottola from Sony. Their relationship kind of fizzled out, didn't last very long. But the problem is that Tommy was effectively Mariah's boss at Sony, right? Which was the label she was signed to. So not only did he have control over her career trajectory and what was promoted, what wasn't, et cetera, he also had control of her personal life, and he isolated her, would use her career as leverage against her, things like that. So they ended up separating. I could be wrong. All the stories we've told today, you probably should fact check before you repeat them.
Not mine. I did research.
She did research. Mine's all from just the knowledge. They divorced, and she was working on her next record, Glitter, which is known for being Mariah's most panned album. It wasn't nearly as successful as it could have been. Turns out the reason why Glitter and the following documentary and music videos and such weren't successful was because Tommy was clearly pissed about their divorce, and he had control over her career, and they didn't promote it properly. Instead, when Mariah was working on Glitter, Tommy decided to find a new it girl. Jennifer Lopez. So J-Lo kind of comes into the scene. Mariah left Sony, and she went to a different label so she could do well. And Tommy had Sony workers basically spy on her, industry people and stuff. And they found out that she was working on a song that sampled another song called Firecracker. They then proceeded to race to use the same sample song, Firecracker, for a J-Lo song, and released it before Mariah could release her song.
That's so shady.
It's so fucking shady. Now, I don't want to say that J-Lo was really involved with any of that shadiness, but she just kind of was a character in the play.
Caught in the crossfire, yeah.
Yeah, but the most iconic quote from Miss Mariah Carey herself, when asked about the whole situation and about Jennifer Lopez, she simply responded with, "I don't know her." To this day, Jennifer Lopez says they have met each other and spoken to each other, but that they don't know each other well. And to this day, Mariah still says, "I still don't know her." Just
who?
Well, who? I don't know her. And that to me is the ultimate fuck you. It's the ultimate. It's been literally over a decade. It's been multiple decades at this point.
Yeah.
And she's still like, oh, I don't know her.
Way
I think that's fucking everything.
Way to fucking commit to the bit. Because, like,
right?
J-Lo, everyone knows J-Lo. Mariah definitely knows J-Lo. Unless she's just so disconnected from everything until she defrosts every November. She's absolutely heard of J-Lo, but commits to the fucking... Who? Love that.
Who is that?
Love that.
She also apparently doesn't know Demi Lovato.
That's a little more believable because Demi's much newer to the
apparently
music.
Demi said something about Mariah and said how Mariah's a wonderfully talented singer, but she's so catty and difficult to work with. Like, nobody wants to be around that. And when asked about it on Tonight Live or whatever the various shows with Andy Cohen are, he asked her about that comment, and Mariah just responded with like, "Oh, I don't know her either."
As she should.
Right? If it's like RuPaul says, if those bitches ain't paying your bills, pay them no mind. What somebody says about me is none of my business.
I love that quote. I think about that all the time. Even though I will make it my business and I will take it so personally.
Exactly. Honestly, same. You said you had one more to share with us. What is it? Hit me.
I do. And unlike Mariah and J-Lo, these two knew each other very, very well.
Okay.
So I need to talk about the clash of the emo titans, Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance and Burt McCracken from The Used, because it cannot go unmentioned.
Okay.
I'll give a brief backstory because you're like...
Well, no, I absolutely know who Gerard Way is. And I know who The Used are. I don't know the name of the frontman, but here we are.
Burt McCracken, ex-Mormon.
Burt McCracken.
I know, he sounds like...
He's an ex-Mormon?
He is.
Okay.
Yeah, they're from Utah. So, to give a brief backstory, Way was close friends with the Used singer, Burt McCracken. The two recorded several songs together, including a cover of Under Pressure. It's actually so good.
Under Pressure.
Yeah, for tsunami relief, which was really cool.
Love that.
The My Chemical Romance song "You Know What They Do to Guys Like Us in Prison," in which McCracken provides backup vocals. So, to give a little flavor, My Chemical Romance started opening for The Used on the Taste of Chaos tour in 2005. Eventually, though, they started to gain more traction and more popularity than The Used, which resulted in fans leaving before The Used actually played. So they'd come see MCR as the opener, and then once The Used were there, they're like, no, I got better things to do, bye.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And obviously, Burt did not take that well. Not well at all.
Yeah.
This led to Burt allegedly bad-mouthing MCR in interviews and saying that their success was owed to him. Burt has said in an interview with VH1, "I'd prefer to not say anything about My Chemical Romance, except that we did have a falling out. We don't speak at all anymore. It's got nothing to do with their success. I'm completely comfortable with where our band is at. We used to be very close, but no more. We had a falling out. The rest of my band, they're still mates with all the guys in that band, but I'd prefer to say nothing more about My Chemical Romance."
Very dramatic.
So
very
dramatic.
Mysterious. Okay, what happened?
Dramatic.
Tell me what happened.
So, in an interview with Blender magazine, Gerard revealed the true manner of the falling out. After he sobered up, their friendship turned sour, and soon thereafter, McCracken reportedly began to trash talk My Chemical Romance. Way stated that he hasn't spoken to Burt since the San Diego stop of the Warped Tour on June 30th, 2005. McCracken had tried to distract fans from My Chemical Romance's set with a megaphone, but failed. "It was really unfortunate," says Way. And of course, Burt declined to comment.
That's kind of like petty.
It is petty, and it gets a little pettier.
Oh, good.
The Used song Pretty Handsome Awkward is said to be about a man whose description suspiciously matches that of the former blonde Gerard, although nothing has been confirmed. McCracken hinted to Kerrang that the song was about Way, saying that it's about someone with short blonde hair, which Gerard had in preparation for the Black Parade.
Right.
So some notable lyrics that I think relate to Gerard are "Your market value, your resurrection. your shallow concept. Help yourself. I hope you choke and you die. I know you meant it. Nice fucking disguise. So hollow. I call shade because MCR has a flair for pageantry and costumes, but who's to say? Who's to say? But like, nice fucking disguise.
Okay, wait. So the core root of this feud is that they went on tour together and the audience decided to leave after MCR opened.
No, the core reason for the feud was that Gerard and Bert they liked to drink. They liked to drink a lot. And Gerard had decided to take to become sober. And that was hard. It's hard to party with somebody who is sober and you're obviously not. So that created a little bit of a drift between them. So that was allegedly like the major cause for the feud.
Okay, but like, I understand like when somebody has a major like life change or lifestyle change, if you guys aren't doing the same kinds of thing anymore, like you're going to drift apart. That seems normal. Mm-hmm. But it also like seems really silly and foolish to like get into a literal feud with someone simply because they've decided to like sober up and take like better care of themselves. Like I feel like there must have been some sort of like disagreement or something mixed in with there, because that doesn't feel like a valid reason to not.
It seems like it's more of like a bitter feeling, unlike the Jesse and John feud where it was like specifically about a girl and they were like writing diss tracks about each other. This was very one-sided and came from what I assume is a place of bitterness from Bert's side about losing Gerard and not having this pal be as close as they used to be, because they were super close.
I don't.
There's probably more to the story, but this is what I could dig up.
There's probably more to the story, and if we're conspiracy theorists, which we're not conspiracy theorists or anything, but like, I will say that bitterness sounds an awful lot like some lover who's a bit bitter.
Well, they have never
I'm not
dated.
Making any accusations whatsoever.
Well, no, it's funny because they do actually, like, they used to like flirt on stage and they would like kiss each other on the mouth and stuff. Like, they were very open in that sense, but they never officially like dated. They mostly just did it because they knew it would piss some of the people off that didn't like that display of affection. So it was kind of like a fuck you to homophobes and people like that, which I respect.
Yeah.
Like, do that. Yes. Pete Wentz also did it. Pete Wentz also kissed all of his friends. We love that.
I'm all for somebody being secure in their sexuality and using that as a platform or a jumping off point to like talk about LGBT rights and homophobia and things like that. I think we've kind of reached a point in the social media zeitgeist of like gay baiting is what they call it, or like these straight male creators on social media platforms who post very suggestive, basically homoerotic type content where they're like flirting with their jock friends and whatnot. And it gets them tons of clicks and stuff, but they're not actually advocating for any of those actual rights or have experienced any of that lived experience that a lot of the audience has.
I feel like it's not that at all, just because MyChem...
Also, at the time when that was happening, it was different.
Well, it was different. MyChem were often called, like, faggots because of the way that they would present themselves on stage and because of the costumes that they would wear and, like, the world building that they would put behind their thing. That was kind of the whole encapsulation of emo. Like, nobody wanted to be called emo or be put in the emo category because they would be... It was seen used as a slur. Lesser than, it was used as a slur. You're like, oh, you're making fucking emo music? Like, it was very much that. So this was...
Which is so funny because, like, I feel like the majority of music that came out of that genre during that time frame is the opposite of queer music. in my opinion.
Yeah, it's literally just like talking about heartbreak and emotions and like introspection. And it's gay.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like, oh my gosh, you have feelings, you must be gay.
Yeah. So this was kind of like their fuck you to those people that would call them things like that. And like, well, your girlfriend's in the audience, so joke's on you. Okay.
But yeah, I feel like a lot of people within the LGBT community, specifically in this particular instance with this slur, I feel like it's used for men more than anything.
100%.
But yeah, no, that was such a pervasive time when everything was like, that's so gay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so, like, it's a weird part of history to like look back on and think and remember that like, oh yeah, that was like normal. That was part of my vocabulary.
Same. I remember saying that.
I totally remember saying that, like, oh my God, that's so gay. What we meant to say was that's stupid or something like that, right? But it's interesting how like the emergence of emo during that phase, as well as where we happened to be in our lives, kind of meshed and coincided in a lot of ways. Yeah, weird.
It's
weird.
To add like another layer to that, a majority of the fans that listen to these big emo bands like My Chem, Fall Out Boy were predominantly female.
Right.
So this like the emo scene was derived of mostly female audience. So
well, and that's where I think it goes back to that kind of gay baiting, right? Like I think of the scene boys, very feminine face, long hair, the fringe, right? They're usually very skinny. There was a femininity that was embraced by emo culture.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, you know, that played in a little bit to the concept that like emo is gay. A little bit in the sense that the audience is particularly female. So, you know, a man that is, you know, comfortable with his sexuality, comfortable with his femininity, excuse me, and is willing to like maybe project that or show off, kiss his bandmate or something during a performance, it's almost like fan service a little bit because it makes the fans feel more comfortable. It makes the band less threatening. Right? They're not an enemy because they're not going to come on to me or like catcall me or something like that. So I definitely think that was weaponized a little bit during that time period, but I don't think it was like consciously in the same way that it would be done now.
I disagree. I don't think they were doing it because like queer baiting is to do it still for other men.
Yes and no.
Okay.
It's really like the idea around queer baiting is essentially pretending that you're a part of the LGBT community through either depiction or action or the way you change your voice or speak or what have you in order to appeal specifically to LGBT people.
Oh, so it's like gay posers.
Gay posers, literally. Yeah. So sometimes it's like content made where it's like a male influencer and his friend like get really flirty or they have like a very close like intimate kind of personal moment or something and nothing really happens. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's directed towards more of the male audience, but like it certainly exists for female audiences as well. 100%.
Strange. But yeah, I don't see it as that personally. I just think they did it as like a fuck you to any sort of homophobic remarks that were made against them.
Yeah. And the thing is too is like during that time they also like they have a reason to kind of do that performance and like kind of have that fuck you, which is, it does make me feel like it was a little bit more authentic.
Definitely authentic.
One thing that I think that a lot of people in the LGBT community refuse to acknowledge is in this situation or situations similar to this, these men could all be straight heterosexual identifying males. And yet they're still experiencing homophobia.
Mm-hmm.
And so the fact that they are experiencing this kind of homophobia, even not identifying as that, kind of pushes them or encourages them to be like, you know what, fuck you. Like, this is so stupid. So in a way, it's almost like these bands were kind of like bringing that to light before its time in a way.
Yeah. Well, it's also just rebellion too. You know, like, oh, you're not going to kiss your friends on the mouth? Why not? There's nothing wrong with it, because that you're supposed to be all tough and manly and pushing people in the pit. It's like, yeah, but kiss your man friends. Spread the love.
I think context is really important for something like this, because like I think immediately of the Madonna, Christina, and Britney kiss.
Yeah, see,
right?
like that's the inauthentic, manufactured. Yes,
right.
Of course.
We did this to be sensational, to be scandalous, right?
Yeah,
and it's like, hey, my existence and my community are not scandalous just for existing, kind of a thing. But I don't feel like this situation with the emo groups is on that same level.
Maybe it was like a scooch. Like maybe they peppered in some sensationalization.
Sensationalization. Today's word is
dictionary.com. I used to get those emails all the time. Yeah, and I actually have some honorable mention diss tracks as well. They all have their own backstories, but
we're not going to dive in too deep.
No,
right?
You can dive into those ones on your own leisure. Rise Against Architects criticizes Against Me's perceived renunciation of revolutionary ideals in their song I Was a Teenage Anarchist. The Lawrence Arms Warped Summer Extravaganza. Sounds like a fucking RuPaul category.
It does.
Warped Summer Extravaganza. Category is... satirizes the commercialism and perceived hypocrisy within the Warped Tour scene. Bring Me the Horizon's Antivist calls out former guitarist Yona Weifhoven. So sorry if I butchered your name. Falling in Reverse's Tragic Magic features Ronnie Radke's scathing words for his replacement in Escape the Fate, Craig Mabbitt. You're such a dumb fuck. You need to shut up. You bring a picture of me every time you get a haircut.
Oh, God.
Ronnie Radke is problematic in many ways, but that's funny as fuck. And finally, Bayside's Anthony Ranieri criticized bands exploiting fans with fake rebellion for profit on Dancing Like an Idiot, stating, "You're telling them it's cool to buy a t-shirt to piss their parents off. There's nothing cool about that. That's mall rebellion."
Oh, Mall Rebellion.
Mall Rebellion. That's a great band name,
God.
actually.
That is a really great. Somebody should steal that.
Somebody should steal that.
I have two little ones we won't dive into as well that just have honorable mentions.
Yeah, hit me.
One from recent history that I feel like we would be silly to forget to mention is the Drake versus Kendrick Lamar situation.
Oh my God. Isn't that still ongoing?
I'm not even sure anymore, honestly. It's hard to keep track.
Yeah.
I don't particularly love Drake's music, and I don't really know Kendrick's music, so I'm not in that world. But that's a thing that's going on. That was happening. Duh. We're not going to dive into this because it's a little bit more recent. Not super recent, but people probably already know the story. We'd be stupid not to mention Katy Perry versus Taylor Swift.
Wait, what?
You don't remember Swish Swish Bish?
That was about her?
That was about Taylor Swift.
Why?
And Look What You Made Me Do by Taylor was about Katy.
Oh, right. Okay, no, it's all coming back together. Bad Blood music video though. Slay.
And
Slay.
honestly, Look What You Made Me Do was kind of a fire, shot diss song towards Katy. I think Taylor even, in one shot, she's, in a car accident in slow motion, and she's dressed up like Katy.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's a lot of feuds that we've gone through. It definitely, maybe we should have a feud. It seems to bring popularity.
I don't know what we would fight about though.
Yeah, nah. No, it's not worth it.
It's not really worth it. I like you too much, and I feel like any feud we would be able to sit each other down and be like, hey, or I would just make a t-shirt displaying that feud for everyone and then make a profit of it.
Those are the ones that I gathered, that you gathered. Question for the audience. What's your favorite celebrity feud? It can be really from any genre, any category of entertainment, but let us know in the comment because I'm honestly curious.
I also love how you worded it. What's your favorite feud?
What is your favorite feud?
BuzzFeed list 10 best feuds of 2024.
Oh, yes. And also one thing, I just want to shout out one of our listeners, Sean. Hi, Sean. Thanks for listening. We appreciate your support. Yeah, but other than that, thanks for listening. And hopefully there are no more feuds for the foreseeable future, at least for us anyways.
Yeah, unless you want to make one now. No, I'm just kidding. Bye.
Bye.